Yeah.
In every show, usually I cry at the end. On
Oh,
every
that is
show. It's so
beautiful.
emotional. I find it so emotional the moment that a designer and a team is working so hard for 6 months to present something to the people. Like, it's so emotional and it's so vulnerable sometimes to show your creative work.
Welcome to a new episode of Most Memorable Journeys. My guest today is Cypriot because I've been having a lot of foreigners recently, but it's time for somebody from my island in the sun. It's somebody that I met last year at the Cyprus Diaspora Forum and instantly he is very easily likable. Welcome to Most Memorable Journeys, Michalis Pantelidis.
Hey, hello, Elizabeth. I'm
I
excited to be here with you.
I am.
The title.
I haven't done this properly because I was supposed to introduce you. You are a sustainable fashion designer, and I want to know more about that because I read it says Michalis aims to redefine the fashion industry, making it more inclusive and environmentally responsible. I think that's a big, big responsibility, isn't it?
Yes, it's a big responsibility. Where should I start from? I mean, I would say that. Do you want me to start from what influenced me to choose
Yes,
that way,
yes.
or
What made you think
yeah?
about that? I mean, there must have been a moment when you thought, this is not right, what's happening here.
Yes, I think there's a lot of things that influence me, but I think I start when I was studying in the UK. I studied fashion textiles in Bristol in the UK, and through my course, we had a class that it was about sustainability. So it was a couple of things. That's one of the things. We had a class that it was about sustainability, and actually we had an exercise to choose a garment as in a group and unpick it and see how many pieces are there. My team had a bra, and we unpicked it, and it was so many threads, iron, things, that, this. It was like it broke into 10, 20 pieces. And after they ask us, okay, where these pieces are coming from which country? And let's say you're trying to find out, like, the thread is coming from Bangladesh, the iron is coming from China, and the fastening, it comes from this country, and where the production is happening. And it happens in Vietnam. And where do they sell it? So they just made us realize the process of making clothes, how much transportation and materials it needs, also where the materials are coming from. And that moment I was shocked because I was like, oh, it's just a bra
I was
that
just going to
it says,
say, and all this
yes.
just for a bra. Yes.
Yes, just for one piece. It's just a bra. And so many people are working on it, and so many countries are involved, and the transportation and everything. And we treat it as just a piece of clothing, and when we get bored of it, we throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that shocked me a bit. And another thing is that I watched the movie A Plastic Ocean during that time. I think it was 2017, 18, 2018 when I watched it for the first time. When I saw that so many plastics end up in the oceans and we eat them after and
Mm-hmm.
the fish eat them and they suffer, I was shocked. Like, I remember I was going to the supermarket and I was feeling guilty to buy the yogurt in the plastic box, but everything is covered in plastic. Like, it was not so many solutions.
Yeah, but
That was the things that influenced me the most, I think.
but you see, you became aware, and if we all became aware, because you alone cannot change it, me alone cannot change it, but I think bringing awareness to the world about these things and making shaking up, because up until, I don't know, probably about the same time as you, I remember my daughter bought a swimsuit made, she said it's made from plastic bottles. And I thought, what? You know, how can you make it was a beautiful swimsuit. I said, how can you make a swimsuit with plastic bottles? And that's when I realized that, this is possible. And I think this is a big eye opener, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. It's so many years now that this innovation came up, and it's possible to make new textiles out of waste materials. And I think for that, also influenced me the internship I did in Amsterdam with Ronald van der Kemp. He's a couturier and he is only using dead stock. So he decided that he was working for many years in the luxury fashion industry for Michael Kors, Celine, these high-end brands. And he was really fed up about it. And he decided to make his own brand that he commit to use only dead stock, only waste materials, that like fabrics that they will end up in the landfills if no one will using them. And he's making these red carpet looks for Lady Gaga, Celine Dion, Michelle Obama. And I think my experience there, it really shaped the way I see unwanted materials in general. And that's how, after a few years, when I did my own projects, I was taking photos of the trash and doing collages and present them as high fashion accessories. That internship, it really changed the way I see materials.
Fascinating. But one thing that comes to mind is cost. It's cheaper to make a bra in Vietnam with materials
Yes.
than to actually do what you do. And this is a big issue. I think people have to be aware. We don't need so many things. We need fewer things.
We don't need so many things, but the cost is true. I remember it happens to me one time a few months ago here in Cyprus. I had a meeting with organization. Of course, I'm not gonna say the name, but they were like, "Oh, why the price of the scarf is like that? Is it recyclable? Like, why is not cheaper?" And I say, "Why do you think because it's recyclable it should be cheaper? Like, what makes you think that because it's recyclable it needs to be cheaper? Because it's also process. It's a huge process of turning the plastic bottles into a textile. It's a huge process. So why do you think it should be cheaper? Like,
Basically, they wanted to tell you that you didn't pay anything for the materials. So why
exactly. Yes. But it's not the
stupid?
case. Actually, because I was producing my scarves in the UK, which is, you know, I wanted to be sure that the workers are paid fair and they work normal hours and everything is more close to Cyprus than China. And that also costs. That also costs. It was more cheap. It was more cheap to produce silk scarves in China at that time than to produce the recycled polyester in the UK. But I have a news about that actually because I had the last 3 years I'm in Cyprus. I will tell you I had so much. I'm listening to the feedback, okay, and I'm listening to the people, and so many people were telling me, "Oh, why not making silk? Why not? We want your scarves in silks." And for the last few years, I was telling them, I'm open to it. I'm not saying no, but it's not the right time, And I was keep telling them that. And recently, something happened in the company in the UK. Actually, I have been really transparent, which I am, and I'm always saying like whatever is happening to my company, I always say it out loud. So something happened in the company in the UK, and I had an order, and I needed to find immediate solution. Like it was really stressful days for me 2 months ago because I had prepaid orders and the company in the UK couldn't deliver. So I needed to find immediate solution. And the Cyprus Handicraft Service, they direct me to one company in Greece, in Soufli, that they produce silk. And they say, here is a very, very nice company. They work for museums. It's high quality. Go speak to them. Because I needed, fast solution to give the orders. And I called the guy there. He knew my work. I don't know how, but he is a small village in Greece, and he was so excited. Yes, I want to work with you. I follow you on social media. I know your work, which I was really like excited to hear that. And so my next collection, it will be in silk, made in Greece, which is a huge difference for me. It's a huge step. I was stressing about it, like, how can I present the new material and everything? But I gave already the order last week, and I received the feedback of my clients, and it went so well. Like they loved it. They love the material. They love that it's made in Greece. It's more near, and it's a bit faster also the production. So that's the news about my
Fantastic. But why not do both? Why not keep what
definite.
you're doing
Yes,
and introduce silk? You can do so many
exactly.
different things.
Definitely, I will do
Yes,
both. But
yes.
I'm in the process of researching now another company because the company in the UK is a bit complicated. So I'm in the process of doing both. Definitely.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I have a question for you, Mikhail.
Yes.
You said that you studied fashion design in Bristol.
Hmm. Yes.
When you told your parents that you want to study, didn't they tell you should become a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant?
Well, I mean, the story is that I was registered when I was 20 after the army. I was registered at the University of Cyprus to study economics and
Uh-huh.
business. So I had the position. I give the exams when I was 18. I got into the university. My parents were super excited. University of Cyprus is for free. It has a good name. Okay, he's done. Like, we have it. We are
Uh-huh.
proud of him. I did 6 months and I realized that is not for me. Even if today I'm having my own business, at that time I knew I don't want to study business and I don't want to study economics and I couldn't stand the classes. I did 6 months and I told them it's not for me. I need to stop. And they were like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, but I know it's not this." And they were really like not accepting it. It was like on every family dinner, they were asking everyone to talk to me, to convince me that I need to finish the university. It was so hard. At that time, I went to visit the studio of Effie Papaioannou. She's one of the most famous fashion designers in Cyprus, one of the most established. And at that time, I was like, "Hey, hello, Effie. I'm Michalis. I'm 22, 23. I don't know what to do. Like, I start studying business. I don't like it. I want to do fashion." Actually, that was a bit after. I confused the timing, but that is part of the story. I want to do fashion, but my parents are not supporting and everything. What is your story? How did you start and everything? And she told me her story. Like, she also started studying something else, I think psychology in US. And after she studied fashion designer, she became one of the most successful fashion designers in Cyprus. So I went home and I told my parents, Effie, she also studied something else, and after she became fashion designer, and that helped a bit. That, honestly, I don't know. I think parents, they need to feel secure that you know what to do, and that helped a bit. So I'm really grateful to Effie for that because she's part of my journey. But it was not easy at the beginning to
Shout out
convince
to
them.
Effie, and I'm sure it wasn't easy because I'm a parent and I'm trying. I have two children, and I really, really want them to do what they want to do because you don't want to be unhappy, but sometimes it's hard to watch, because it's easier to do economics and then have a boring job for the rest of your life and have a monthly income. But are you glad you did what you did?
Definitely. I cannot see Michalis doing something else right now. I mean, I'm open, of course, I'm open to what life brings you, but I needed to do textiles, to do fashion textiles. And I'm glad that I'm in Cyprus right now and I'm using a lot, like Cyprus, in my inspiration. I just feel it's exactly how it should be. I feel very happy with the journey.
And you never know what comes next. I mean, it could be
Yes.
still in the fashion industry, but it could be something else. As you say, you're open to whatever. If anybody is listening and has a great idea, Michalis is open to.
I'm open. I'm open. Yes, I love art, and I think that, like, to be creative, you can do so many things. We cannot stick to one thing. And I have also a lot of interest. Like lately, I'm making a lot of videos because I enjoy the filming and the editing. So I think everything is connected when it comes to creativity and creative industries.
Totally, but I want to talk about some of those videos, and I also want to talk about you have been to fashion shows, big fashion shows. You have been to Paris, haven't you? Paris Fashion Week.
Yes, actually, I went in Paris for a Celia Gritharioti couture show in January, and my main task it was to make videos. I went to make videos, so I'm very glad to Celia for that. That she trusts my vision, she trusts my eyes, and she bring me from Cyprus to Paris just for the videos.
I
So I'm
have
Love
seen
that.
something there. I'm not sure if I saw wrong, but did you actually fly on a private jet?
It was last year. We fly on a private jet last year. You're so correct. Yes, she
I
flies
was
us. Thanks to Celia.
I was extremely jealous
Yeah.
because it's on my list of things to do to actually get an opportunity to fly on a private jet. I haven't
You
had.
know, it was on my list too.
Yes.
And I'm so glad it happened. But I love that you say that because when we share these things with people, sometimes, oh, you are too ambitious. Oh, you are too like that. I'm like, no, this is like we have one life. My list, my to-do list is huge.
So
I
is
have
mine, and I'm
crazy
much
things
older
inside.
than you.
Like yes, but
And
it was on my list. Like it was on my list to go to travel in private jet, and thanks to Celia, it happens.
maybe you could introduce me to Celia. Maybe I can get a ride next.
Yes, next time for the fashion show. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about Paris. How did that? What? Because for us, it's difficult to imagine for somebody who has never been there. I see it. It must be very, very stressful because it's constant
Yes.
coming and going. What's the atmosphere when you're there?
So I lived in Paris for a short period twice in my life. Like one, it was 2015 before studying fashion, and one in 2018. So my first couture show, it was in 2018, again with Celia Kritharioti. It was between my studies. She was in Paris having her show. I was a student during the summer break, and I text her on Instagram and I say, "Hello, I'm Michalis. I'm from Cyprus. I'm here. I'm studying fashion. I'm here in Paris. I work for this showroom for 10 days, and now I'm gonna do internship at Balmain, and I really want to come to your show to help." And she told me the show is on Tuesday or something, and she didn't say, "Okay, come," or something. And I was like, after I was like, no, I really want to go. And I text her again and I say, hey, I'm really like, I'm dying for it. I really want to meet you, and I will help you a lot. And she say, "Okay, come at this location at 4 p.m. to meet you." And I went, and we had chemistry, and I stayed for 4 days with them until the show, and it was amazing. It was my first couture show experience. It was amazing. Yes, it's very stressful. Last year, Naomi Campbell was at the show, opened the show of Celia. I met so many interesting people during Celia's Krithariodis shows, like Alessandra Ambrosio, Irina, Anna Russo, and it's stressful, but also it's your is I feel is my oxygen, that
It's
energy, that
satisfying. It's your world.
yes.
Yes. Like you're
Yes.
there and you feel this is where I belong.
I feel I belong there, and
Yeah.
in every show, usually I cry at the end. On
Oh, that
every
is so
show, it's so
beautiful.
emotional. I find it so emotional the moment that a designer and a team is working so hard for 6 months to present something to the people. Like it's so emotional, and it's so vulnerable sometimes to show your creative work.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
you show piece of yourself, piece of your soul. It's very
Yes.
emotional.
Very, very true. But there is something that I liked what you said before. You sent Celia a message on Instagram. You didn't know her.
I didn't know her.
Didn't
Of
know
course,
her.
I knew who she is.
But
I
she
didn't know her
replied.
person.
She replied. She didn't tell you, but she replied. And then you followed up. And I
Yes.
think this is what most people don't do. First of all, they don't ask. They
Yeah.
think, oh, he's never going to reply. Why would I bother? This is such a big thing to do. I think this is a very important thing to just ask. It's like me asking you to be on
Yes.
my podcast. I didn't know it.
Yes.
But if you don't ask, you always have a 50% chance of a no.
Definitely. And that's a life, like it's a life attitude. And I'm like this. I'm 100% like this on everything, on the way I flirt, on the way I ask for work, on the way I do everything. It's just a life attitude. Just ask. And I don't take no personally. And I don't care actually for the no's, like I'm not attached to the outcome so much, but I want to know that I did my best and I try.
Of course. I mean, if it's a no, that
Yes.
means at least you have asked. But there is also a chance of a yes.
Yes, and if it's a no, sometimes you keep asking. And when I was in Amsterdam, and I wanted to work with Ronald van der Kemp, it was not a position like to ask for interns or to ask for atelier workers. and I text him on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. I send my CV on email. I think I text him 6 times, and he was not even looking for people. And at the last time he told me, okay, because you text me everywhere and I can see how much you want it, come to the studio for a trial day. And I went and I stayed for 6 months, and it was the best 6 months of my life.
Yeah,
Like,
I
and
think
until today we are close, and he's like a role model for me. But if I was not pushing it, it will not happen, you know. And I don't say to take the credit, but it's just my attitude to try when I believe in something, you know.
I think this is a very good attitude, and I think many people could take notes here, because if you speak to a person like that, who is very busy, maybe he saw it once, maybe he didn't see it, but then it comes a second time, and then he notices it, and then it comes a third time and a fourth time, and that's how you do it. It's just constantly grinding, grinding, grinding until you get it. But I think that's how you are generally in life. You know what you
Yes, and
want.
I'm keep using it for my scarves also. Like I send scarves to the stylist of Ricky Martin or the stylist of Paris Hilton, and it was through Instagram. I always through Instagram, and I push a lot sometimes, and they can ignore me, but they didn't. So
I like that. I like that. I
yes,
do the same with getting people on my podcast. I just send them messages,
yes.
then I wait a little bit, they don't reply, and then I send another one, and then I wait a little bit, and sooner or later they can.
Yes, and you ask me, and I say immediately, yes, of course, let's do it. It was not even a second of thinking, should I do it or not? It was like,
Yeah.
yes, immediately, yes, of course, like immediately.
Now tell me, Paris is one fashion show. Have you been to other fashion shows? Have you been to other?
Yes, I've been to Milano. I was working backstage in fashion shows in Milano. I don't remember now. I've been to a few in Paris
What's
and
the
in
dream?
Amsterdam.
How about New York Fashion Week? Would that be
I
something?
never been to New York Fashion Week. I've been to New York, but not at the Fashion Week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you have a favorite country to travel to?
Oh my God, I love traveling so much. Like Italy. Italy is my favorite country to travel to for many reasons. But when I think of holidays, if someone was telling me today, like, okay, you have a
Yeah.
free
What
ticket,
would it
where
be?
would you go? I
Yeah.
will go to Philippines. I've been to Boracay, I've been to Philippines, but I really want to go back. It was one of the best beaches. I'm a beach person, you know. I'm like, that's why I say before, I love the sun and I love the sea, and I'm this kind of traveler. I
My
mean,
God, we must go to the Philippines together, because I really, really need to go.
yes.
When I was director of the Global Women Club Cyprus, I used to always attend the meeting of the Philippine ladies, because it was during COVID and everything was on Zoom. So we had this
Wow.
connection. And I
Yes.
know so many. I actually know a lot of women in the Philippines who could help you with your fashion.
We should take the scarves in Philippines and everywhere
Yes,
in the world, but we
yes,
should take them. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Maybe we can take a private jet and go there.
Oh my
If
God, I love that. I love that plan.
if anybody listens, all
Yes.
we need is somebody to sponsor the whole thing.
I love that plan.
We are ready to go. Okay, let's get back to being serious. What is your sort of, it's like a stupid question now at a job interview, but where do you see yourself in 10 years? What's the dream? How big would you like to get? How far would you like to go?
Wow, that's a good question. You know, sometimes you get busy with the next step and the next step, sometimes I get busy with this, with everyday and weekly things, and I forget the bigger
Mhm,
picture. So
mhm.
thank you for reminding me that. So in 10 years, so I will be 41, 42. I would really, really love to combine, have a sustainable fashion business that includes traveling as well and exhibitions around the world, and making enough money to be fully independent and not need to do other things. I think that's it. That's my honest answer. I love fashion, art, and traveling. So these three things is the ideal plan for me. And actually, you know, I say that for a few years ago as well, but the last year I traveled to so many countries because of fashion. So I can see it happen. Like I was in Rome in February for an art exhibition. I participated in a group art exhibition. Before I was in Paris Fashion Week last year, in June, I show my work in London. I went in Milano in May. So I can see it
It's
happen. You know
happening.
what I mean?
It's
I
happening.
Yes, I can see it. I want to go to Dubai this year for exhibition. I went in December to see Ricky Martin, and I really want to go to show my work in a group art exhibition maybe in November. Maybe that's the plan. So that's the ideal for me to travel, show my work, get inspired, produce new work, to new work, and continue.
You know, goal setting is so important, and being clear about your goals is very, very important, because there is a place in our brain which is called the reticular activating system, which recognizes what you want. So if you tell your subconscious mind what you want, it is going to go and look for it. And you
I
will
believe
recognize
that. Yes.
you will
I
recognize the
yes.
opportunity. And I think it's what you just said. When you are going to listen to this interview, what you just said, you're going to have to write it on a paper and carry it around with you every day and say it.
Okay, I will do that. I like this. Yes, and actually, I have a visual board in my room. Like right now, I can see like the photos I post on that I put on. I always have like very clear who I want to dress, where I want to put my scarves, where I want to travel. Like at least these things, and from the celebrity list that I have on the wall, almost everyone put the scarves on. So I'm so grateful. And I remember when I was sharing this with my friends 1 year ago, they were like, okay, I think you are dreaming too much. You want to approach these people, it's too difficult. And I'm like, guys, no, it will
No, no,
happen.
no. Never stop dreaming and
Yes.
dream big. Is there somebody who would be the person that you would want to have a scarf? Like
And
or
Lady Gaga.
Lady
Lady
Gaga?
Gaga. Yes, it's my dream. And also another one that Anna Vissi has. I gave her last year. She didn't wear it yet. I think, or at least I did. I don't have a photo yet, but I think when I will see, which I'm sure it will happen for sure. When I will see Anna Vissi wearing my scarves, it will be the happiest day of my life.
Oh, Anna Vissi, are you listening to us?
We need to send her the
We will send
podcast.
the podcast
Yeah.
recording.
Yes, but I saw her in Paris last week at the show of Celia, and I told her about the scarf. I said, "Hey, it's me, Michalis, that I give you the scarf in the summer." She was in Cyprus, and she said, "Ah, yes, I remember you. It was beautiful. Thank you." And that, I was like, "Oh my God, that's the most beautiful moment of the time in Paris." Actually, when I hear that Anna Vissi will be at the show, I was like, "Oh my God, I don't care about anyone else. I don't care about Alessandra Ambrosio. I don't care about Irina. I care only to meet Anna Vissi." Like for me, it was like, "Oh my God, is I listen to her every single day. I need to meet her."
You are amazing. I would love to have her on the podcast. And maybe I should just put this on my wish list as well, because
Yes,
she would be
yes,
somebody to talk to. And I'm sure she's got
definitely.
a few most memorable travel journeys or journeys to talk about, and a life journey. What else do you like except fashion and creating and filming? What do you do when you're free? What do you like? You said you like the beach.
I like the beach and I like to walk in the city, in the old town. I love walking in the old town in Nicosia, Limassol, and Larnaca also, and just observing people and the doors and the street, and just walking and seeing things. I like that. I enjoy that a lot. I do it often actually.
So you just go and you look and you take pictures.
Yes, I do, and after I make projects, I make scarves out of it.
That's
So
amazing.
it's part of my research, but I don't see it as okay, I'm going because I need to work.
It
It's
happened.
something I do organically, like without putting any pressure on me. I'm just walking and I see things, and after I say, okay, I want to see this in a scarf, okay, I will make it. So
Have
like
you
yes, I had a collection that it was it was photographs of the doors of all the old town of Nicosia, And actually, one door is in the south and one door is in the north. And that story and that project put me on a cover of Turkish newspaper, which for me is like it's so rare to see a Greek speaking Cypriot on a cover of Turkish speaking newspaper. So I'm really happy about that.
That's amazing, and that's very honorable. So they like the fact that it's called inclusion. You included both places.
Yes, because I see both communities,
Yes.
because it's not about that and this. I see it as we are so many, not only two, but so many communities in Cyprus. And I really believe that everyone should have equal opportunities. And we need to celebrate everyone who is here. It's not about, are you Greek? Are you not Greek? Are you this? Are you that? You are in Cyprus. You need to be like, you need to be included. Because you know why? Because I lived in many countries. I didn't live only in Cyprus. I lived in Amsterdam. I lived in Paris, in Italy, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Malaysia. And I felt how it is not to include you and also to look at you in a way that uh, they make you feel you are a lower level person or something. So, and I felt that and I didn't like it. So I don't want the people who live in Cyprus to make them feel, oh, you are not Cypriot? Okay, a bit less. No. Or not being celebrated enough or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I also, believe that it's not just being in Cyprus, it should be everywhere because I always say when you are flying when you fly, when you're in a plane and you look down, you don't see any borders. There are no borders. Borders are
Definitely.
on paper created by humans, and all these problems that we have are created by humans, by politicians.
Definitely, and the ego. We need to feel our ego. Oh, we are this, and we achieve that, and as a country, and as a and the yeah, it doesn't help to be so much stuck into the titles.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I think because, of course, here we are a small community, which doesn't help, because everybody knows everything about everybody. So, there's a lot
Yes,
of
yes,
envy, there's a lot of jealousy, and a lot of judgment. People are very judgmental.
yes. I see. I receive a lot of hate comments sometimes on my Instagram, but I'm like, I don't care really. Like, whatever you do, you make my numbers increase. So, thanks to them.
Do you really? What kind of hate comments?
Ah. Well, sometimes it's about being gay, and sometimes it's about someone else I post in my profile. Like I had a video recently with Sofia Hajbandeli. She's like one of the women I admire the most for who she is and what she achieved. And there were so many hate comments on that video. Actually, it's a video that we made it in Paris when I was last month, 2 months ago, and it's Sofia singing "Prodimo" is the
Yeah.
word, the song of Anna Vissi,
Yeah.
and we made it just for fun. It was just a way to say to Vissi, "We love you," you know. And so many hate comments under that video. It went viral. It has more than 350,000 views, so many comments, but still I'm still getting new followers because of that. So
Good.
that's why I'm telling them your hate is benefit
Your
us. So
gain. Yeah.
yes.
But but the people who write these things, the problem is not about you, the problem is about them.
Yes, definitely. I start. Sometimes I reply to them, but after I'm like, I'm wasting my energy. Sometimes I reply for fun. I
Yes.
only do
Yes.
it just for fun. But
Yes.
after I'm like, I don't even want to know if they reply or not. I restrict them or I block them after. So
But you really are wasting your energy, if you go into this. And I think especially people, homophobia is a big thing still in Cyprus, I believe. I think if people have,
yes, and actually, so many. Like I remember, I got interview last year, and they asked me, what do you think is the main issue in Cyprus? And for me at that time, it was when I just returned to Cyprus, it was that so many gays are living two lives and they pretend to be it still shocked me actually. They pretend to be straight and they think straight looking is a compliment. And I think that's sad because also
Totally.
in the
Yeah.
dating apps, they use a lot these words like straight looking, manly, macho. And I think it's so much toxicity into that to be gay and to think it's a compliment to look straight. So I'm like, guys, no, I want my gays to look gays. I don't want any straight looking gay, honestly. I'm not I'm
I
not
think
going out with any straight looking
it's
gay. I
really
want the
it's
gays to be
sad.
gay.
It's just very sad when people have
Yes.
this desire, and I think that's why you are who you are. You are so likable and so lively and so real. You're authentic, and I think that makes this whole Michalis Pantelidis so wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. But it was hard at the beginning. And one book actually, it helped me a lot to go through this journey. I think it's the Velvet Rage book that it talks about the journey of being gay and growing up in homophobic society. And it made you realize some things that before I read the book, I didn't realize. So that book helped me to be more authentic and be comfortable with every part of Michalis and just show it without regrets and without filters, like to be, yourself without any filters on it.
Beautiful. I love this. And we have come to the end. I think, I don't know if we have covered what I wanted to cover or if there is anything that you would want to add, but I have really, really enjoyed talking to you.
I really enjoy talking to you too, and I see it as we had a beautiful conversation. I forgot that we are recording actually, and so
I
I'm
want
so happy about that because it's mean it was real and it's mean I was comfortable. So thank you for making me
beautiful.
feel comfortable.
And I will see you on that jet to Manila when we go to bring your
We need
stuff.
to
All
take
right.
some scarves to Manila
Exactly.
and to Palawan and to Boracay to all the islands.
Everywhere. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Michalis Pantelidis. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. See you soon in Limassol.
Yes, yes. If you enjoy my podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You will find all the information in the show notes.